Hi everybody, my name is Bits Dolly and I read Sorta Okay Online for you. Yay, I get to read a book for you online. Oh my god, so what are we reading? We are reading The Picture of Dorian Gray. What is this about? This is about a guy who wants to be pretty and popular forever and not have an awkward phase in his life. Yeah. Love that for him. So what does he do? He makes a pact with something from nowhere. And he's like, only if this picture that my friend painted of me becomes ugly and gross will I stay pretty and young. And it happened. Or at least it had happened in the chapter previously. And it like freaked him out so much. He decided to pass out about it because he's rich. And that's what you do when you're rich. When you see something horrifying, you just go to sleep about it. You just take a nap. So Dorian wakes up and he's like, oh my god, that was like the craziest dream. Like, I could have sworn that picture was all messed up, but you know, he hasn't checked yet. Like, well, he does later on, but this is like a part one, okay? First, I had to figure out what the heck was a Louis Keynes. I'll probably put like a little thing right there or right there or somewhere about what the heck that was. So a Louise Kahn's toilet set, a silver one, okay? I thought it was a toilet. I thought it was a real toilet. Before you freak out and you're like, oh my god, you're putting on a lot of makeup, it's this stuff. It's what I use on my face, and it doesn't make my skin worse than it is. You know what I mean? It's just like a little thing, okay? It's a cream. You put cream on your face, you know? Just put on like a little bit of cream. So yeah, like he was freaking out, right? He walked all night. He was like, my girlfriend just embarrassed me in front of my friends. My friends, you know? He's like 19, she's 17. And the worst thing for a 19-year-old is to be embarrassed in front of your really cool friends. Your friends are so cool when you're 19. We're all so cool when we're 19, right? Especially Dorian, because he's pretty unpopular and he has a spooky ass mystical portrait thing that is doing something very, very supernatural. He confirms if it really happened, and he finds out, yeah, that shit did happen. So like, first in the dim twilight and then in the bright dawn, he had seen the touch of cruelty around the warped lips. So this is him confirming whether or not if it actually happened, because he was like in denial. You know, whenever you go through something crazy and you wake up the next day and you're like, oh, that was just a dream. I was dreaming. And then you're like, no, that really happened. You find out, oh, like, yeah, you did do that thing. Like, call that guy 27 times. You don't do that. Or text him, like, nonstop. And just be like, ooh, why don't you like me? Like, you're so pretty and popular. Right, so Dorian is out here completely forgetful of what happened. He passed it off as a dream. I mean, naturally, anyone would pass that shit off as a dream because they would be like, so like, I guess portraits, like paintings were, you know, just something that were more concrete than anything, much like how we are with video today. So seeing such a contrast, such a change right before his eyes it's not like you just put a filter over something, right? Like this was like such a definitive and unmovable, and it would be impossible for it to be edited like that, right? This portrait just could not just have a shift from one facial expression to now a warped, cruel grimace. So when he finds out that he wasn't dreaming, he confirms that the portrait did in fact change, because he checks that morning because he was like, it must have been a dream. And then he tempts himself. He's like, no, like, it, you know, if it was a dream, then, you know, blah, 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 like me confirming wouldn't be a big deal, right? So he confirms, finds out it did happen, and then he says this. He goes, the portrait to him through life would be what holiness is to some and conscience to others, and the fear of God to us all. There were opiates for remorse, drugs that could lull the moral sense to sleep, but here was a visible symbol of degradation of sin. So now he's like kind of looking at this with a more logical approach. Now he's like, oh my, he's confirmed within himself that it is indeed capturing his soul. Imagine if all of your pictures, any video you've ever taken, had reflected the more darker sides of your own human nature. Because I think a lot of the times people forget that they carry within themselves a dark side. Like, not that we are all made of light and bubbly, but nobody is 100% nice all the time, 100% understanding. And even then, like, if you're consistently sullen and sad, like, imagine if all of your pictures were to reflect your soul. That would be frightening. That'd be terrifying. Some of you people need to put that away. Put your soul away right now. I don't want to see it. Put it away. Oh my God. So Dorian is over here being like, I need to like apologize to Sybil. Like, I was wrong. He's doing this big love letter. He's like, I'm gonna stop hanging out with Henry, who's like a bad influence. If you've seen my lives, you know that I think of Henry like the little devil on your shoulder. The one that's like, do the bad thing, like, it'll be fun. And then Basil, his friend Basil, is like the more compassionate person. So he's like, I'm gonna stop hanging out with Henry, bad influence, and I'm gonna start hanging out with Basil again, and I'm gonna apologize to her. I'm gonna right my wrong, because my picture can't be like reflecting the darker aspects of my soul like that. Like, now I'll get to actually see my sins. What would you do if you actually got to see what your sins do to your soul? That would make a lot of us people out here change our ways, right? Ooh, supernatural, spooky time. Okay, so when he's writing this like apology to Sybil, it's kind of coming from a self-serving place, but like naturally he wants to do the right thing. He wants to make her feel better. But like the whole time I was thinking, like, once you do someone wrong, once you hurt something, once you break something, it is broken. And even if you repair it, it is still left with the cracks and scars of your actions, of the harm caused. So when he's doing this apology, there's a thing that says, when we blame ourselves, we feel that no one else has the right to blame us. It is the confession, not the priest, that gives us the absolution, or absolution in the sense of absolving us, I think, contextually speaking, because a lot of people will think of like absolutes as in like, black and white thinking. Rather, it's not that way. So yeah, he's out here just like, I'm so sorry, let me make it up to you. So this is the end of part 1 of chapter 8 summary. Okay, now we all know what that toilet set is about, because I honestly I was like, a toilet? I thought it was a silver toilet, not like a little vanity set. I had no freaking clue. I was like, what the heck is that? Like, he's pooping on a toilet that's like made of silver? Like, the pomp of it all.